Hey guys, Troy here doing a quick video. Trying to upload a bunch of videos today, but YouTube is not cooperating. So it's Wednesday, and I figured I would flood you guys with 5 or 6 videos today, just to hold you over and get you through, and also touch base on the videos that I said I would do. Earlier today, I recorded a video that showcased the firearm that I'm going to be using for the IDPA shooting, and the decisions and why I made the decisions I did to pick up that firearm. I also did a video covering this Black Dog Concealment USA holster that I got from eBay. And to build on this, I just wanted to go a little bit more into holsters and the different options that I have that I plan on using throughout my competitive shooting. And you know, just having backups and options. You never know what's going to happen. You go to put a product on and one of them is broken, or you forgot to put it back in the package or back into your pack before heading out. You know, I like to go through all of my equipment before I go to any events, airsoft, IDPA, anything. Even if it's just the camera stuff, I'll empty my bag, make sure I have everything, and then put it back. Sometimes that stuff doesn't make it back into the bag. So, with that said, again, this is the Black Dog USA Concealment Holster. This isn't designed specifically for competition, but that's what I'm going to be using it for because it does fit all of the criteria for IDPA. As you'll see here, this is a Cerakote holster. Now these are extremely popular in the airsoft community, or they have been in previous years, with a lot of the different Kydex makers coming to the market now. You're starting to see people go away from this, both in the real steel, mil-sim, airsoft. Usually when stuff takes off and becomes popular in the real steel realm, mil-sim usually follows suit. So this one is an option for me to have. The main reason why I don't want to use this primarily for IDPA shooting is because of the release. It slows things down. I've practiced with this thing quite a bit, and it's going to take a lot of practice and a lot of training for me to get it down to where every time I reach down, I actuate that button. Now I know a lot of law enforcement officers have used it in the past with success, and that's great for them, but for competitive shooting, you want everything to go as smoothly and as fast as possible. Smooth is fast, and when you add extra steps such as these unnecessarily, they tend to get in the way. And for a new shooter like me, who is slow already and pretty much sucks, you don't want to add any extra steps to it. A good thing about these holsters though, yes, they do have great retention, and this screw here right at the bottom helps also make adjustments to the retention levels on this. Not just the lock-in, but how smoothly the firearm can go in and out. Now this one is for my M&P as well. And it locks right in. I made a few quarter turns with the screw just to make it the way I needed it to be, and it works quite well. Again, I just didn't like the extra step. Now, something that you have a benefit of according to IDPA rules is anytime that you can adjust the cant on a holster via screws in the back, or you know, basically a semi-permanent adjustment, then it is something that you can do. Now if this was one of those paddle holsters where it was loose and you could, or free to turn to adjust the cant on the fly, then it wouldn't be authorized. So this one is authorized, and I have adjusted the cant just a slight bit, and it does work quite well. This is a Phobos holster, and it's a paddle holster. That's something that you'll see a lot of in my collection, is paddle holsters, because they're easier to come by, they're less expensive. The Blackout Cerakote was only 28 bucks. I think I paid 25 bucks for this off of eBay. This was for my XD, and this one worked quite well. This is what I used during that classifier. And the one thing that I wish that it had that it didn't was the ability to cant. This one is not adjustable at all. What you see is what you get. You can adjust the retention using this screw here. So the retention was outstanding. It was right what I needed to be. The gun was able to go in and come out easily. I didn't have any hang-ups. It didn't pull my pants up or get snagged on anything. This worked really well with the XD for that competition. or classifier. And stuff like this, you'll see a lot. There are Kydex holsters that are similar to this as well, with the adjustment, the O-rings keeping the grip and the tension where you need it to be and how you need it to be. Again, the only thing I didn't like about this one was the lack of canting. Now this one, this is for a Glock 17. Very similar to the Serpa. They're both made by Blackout, but this is the Sportster. Now this one does not have any mechanical retention. There are no locks. So basically, once you put the firearm in, just the tension and the friction of it going into this holster is what holds it in place. And you'll see the difference. This one is not a paddle. This one has the belt loops, which are adjustable. So you can use anything from a 1-inch belt all the way up to a 2-inch belt because it's adjustable. And that offers quite a bit of versatility. This one is also adjustable in the back so that you can take the screws out and adjust the cant as needed. So this is a great option for competitive shooting as well. You adjust the tension to make it to where you can get the friction where you need it to be, and the speed where you need it to be, or how smooth it's going to be. Now here's another holster, or something that's just as important to competitive shooting and shooting in general, is your magazine holsters. Now these are Phobos holsters, and this one came with the Phobos paddle holster for the XD. The problem I ran into with this particular holster is the XD magazines didn't fit snug, and neither do the M&P magazines. Neither one of them, the 9mm magazines, fit snug. I had to make adjustments inside to make it to where there was just enough tension to retain the magazines when they're loaded, but also still quite easy to take those magazines out and load those into the firearm when needed. An example here are the two M&P 9 magazines. And the tension is just where it needs to be. There's no movement. Now these are empty right now, but even when full, there's no movement. There's just enough. I have it set up where there's just enough tension to keep it in place. You don't get any movement. And this paddle holster works out really well. It did suck that I had to make those modifications for it to fit, but it works. And when you're starting out with something and you're on a budget, or you just don't have a lot of money to spend on certain accessories, these Phobos holsters do come in handy because they're quite affordable and readily available. Competitive shooting can be quite expensive to start, but if you already own platforms or own firearms, most anything and everything that you have in your collection you can use in competitive shooting. There's usually a category or a class for each and every type of firearm available on the market. So you have to make the decision as to what will and will not work for you, whether or not it will have the accessories that you need to improve on your performance. But nothing improves performance more than practice. And believe you me, I have been doing nothing but that. Reading a bunch of books, a lot of literature on the web, forums, support from great friends, and it has meant quite a bit. Now my first classifier I didn't do too great, but that wasn't my goal. My goal was to get out there and shoot and get the blood flowing, and my desire to be out there up to that level where I can't wait for the next event or the next match. And that's exactly where I am. It's been almost 2 weeks, and I tell you what, I cannot wait to get back out there, guys. I even want to just go to the ranges and help them set up, even if I can't make the event. That's how interested I am. I want to get myself known. I want to be comfortable at any and every range in Central Florida and beyond. But the only way for that to happen is for me to get out there. So if you think competitive shooting is for you, or you have the desire to go out and check it out, go to an event. It doesn't cost anything to spectate, and you might see and learn a few things, or even make some friends who might help you through the process like I did. And the events aren't expensive. The ammo can be, but that's also coming down. The availability is improving, and if you're lucky enough, you can get yourself in line with some people that reload, people that you can trust, and get you the proper stuff that you need to get out there at minimal cost. Now the more and more stuff that I get into, the more accessories, the more equipment, the more training, the more shooting I do, the more videos are going to be produced. I'm going to be doing a series of comparison videos between airsoft and competitive shooting, because most real steel guns, there's an airsoft version out there on the market. And if you want to do if you want to train inexpensively and still get a lot of the feedback, I'd say 90% of the feedback, airsoft is a good way to do that as well. So I'm going to be incorporating that and doing videos to bring both of those worlds together. This is Schwell. I hope you guys are out there having fun, being safe, and also being responsible. And I'll hit you with the 2 fingers. Later.